Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers Podcast, part of the Believe network of podcasts. What is going on, Clint Nation? Happy Monday to you, my dudes. We have the Giants in town in LA, and that's always a fun, exciting, awful, frustrating time for everybody involved. But on today's show, we are going to go back a little bit before rolling it forward to talk about a little bit of the weekend series, have some reactions to that. I'm introducing a new segment. I'm calling it Monday Overreactions, because why not? That's the best time to overreact what has happened over the weekend. We'll talk a little bit about Shohei struggled. Spoiler, probably not too worried about that. Welcome to the team, Dinelson Lamet. Get rid of one Padre. Welcome another one to the team. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Oh, on another edition of All Dodgers Live. First, I am Clint Pasillas. You guys can find me as Real FRG on the social media thing, the machine there. If you guys want to follow me there, that's cool. If not, that's also cool. Consider giving this episode a thumbs up. If you enjoy it, consider subscribing to the channel. If you like things that help out people that are completely free to you, if you're watching this live, also drop into the comments. Let me know where you are representing your Dodgers fandom tonight. Give me some score predictions for this Giants series, all that kind of stuff. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Let's have a little bit of fun talking Dodgers baseball. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leave a 5-star review on the show. It really does help out there. And I should mention, yes, I do have a Patreon. If you like supporting independent baseball coverage, finding another way to support me, support the channel, support what we do here, check it out, patreon.com/realfrg. A couple little options in there. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I don't know, but one last thing. If you haven't had enough of me already, I co-host a Dodgers show called Dodgers Territory on Foul Territory with Alana Rizzo. Today we had Dodgers catcher Will Smith on, and Will is always a good time to talk to, they say. No, I love Will. That was fun. We had a lot of we had to fight through some little technical things, but we got Will in. We had a fun time with Will, so check it out on Foul Territory. There is a link in the description. But enough BS. Let's get into the chat. As 275 Vet was the first message here in the chat. First commenter saying, Clint Chapter 2, thank you for tubing in. 275 Vet, I understand this is an earlier stream. Some people probably still looking for the 7 p.m. stream. During the season, we're probably going to be doing it 1 hour earlier. Hopefully it doesn't affect too many people. We'll get used to it. Craig Osterberg's in the chat. Chris is in the chat. Of course, IB Stroken, one of our great moderators, is in the chat saying shout out. Richard Flores checking in from Devore, California. Thank you, as always, my guy, Richard Osterberg, bringing up the hated ones, those Giants. First time we get to see the San Francisco Giants, the new look Giants this offseason. They kind of had a sneaky, really good offseason. They did what the Dodgers do. They play the patient game. They waited. They were able to sign Matt Chapman for under market value. They were able to sign Blake Snell, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, under market value. They also add Jung-Hoo Lee. So that's going to be really fun for me as a baseball fan. And I will be watching that game live on the PSF, the not poor sports fan, but Pro Sports Fan app, along with Desert Doyer Carlos. We're going to watch a game. It's a watch-a-thon. We're doing it over there on that app. Check it out. If you want to watch the game, and I don't know, I'm sure I'm going to cuss a whole lot during the games. That's just kind of one of the things that happens. Cooper Neal is in the chat saying a happy Monday, having a shift beer before the late game on the East Coast. I did not bring a beer. Not today. Not today, Junior. Diane Schroeder is in the chat. Sarah Morris is on the IL recovering. Prayers up for Sarah. Hopefully you are back and ready to go when the Dodgers take on the Cubs at the end of this week. So let's see. We got. I'll get a few more people in here. None220 checking in from Kuwait. I don't know if that's true, but if so, that is really cool. Matty Man 5 Dodge checking in from North Korea. I don't believe you, but why not? DJ Jesse is in the chat. What is going on? Roy asking if I'm going to do post game. I probably won't do post game shows just because everybody does a post game show. Doug and Jeff Spiegel, they kind of have the market cornered on that. We'll find other things to do on the channel. I do want to do more. I keep saying I want to do more content. Things have remained busy, but hopefully as the season keeps going, we'll have more opportunities for content. We'll squeeze some stuff in there. We'll find some more stuff, as I looked a little bit low. So sorry if I cranked up my volume on you guys there. But let's lead off. Let us look back for a second to that Dodgers versus Cardinals series. The Dodgers take the series 3-1 against the Cardinals, which is what you want to do because ties suck in 4-game series. The starting pitching was absolutely the story. 1.64 ERA from the 4 dudes that started. Yamamoto looks really effing good in his re-debut. Same with Tyler Glasnow. Bobby Miller, a revelation. And, of course, Gavin Stone, better than advertised, better than the numbers say. So, you got to like Gavin Stone there. I talked more about this on Dodgers territory earlier, so check it out. I don't want to say too many of the same things on one day, but promising stuff from the very new look. Also, Dodgers starting rotation. I mean, there's only one of those guys that was there last year, and that was Bobby Miller. And this is a big year for Bob. Big year for Bob. More on Bob in a little bit, but the other storyline we got to talk about is the offense. The offense will not quit. Coming from behind, coming from ahead, and sometimes Teoscar Hernandez has himself a really nice first series in Dodger Blue at home. Drops 3 bombs, has his first multi-homer game as a Dodger. Mookie Betts on fire. Some people will say was robbed for the National League Player of the Week award. But if you go and look at the stats and you look at what Lourdes Gurriel Jr. did for the Arizona Diamondbacks, you'd be like, okay, this dude had himself a pretty freaking good week as well. Mookie had him, I think, in homers. He had him in RBI. But, I guess we'll say congrats to Lourdes Gurriel. Had himself a pretty damn nice series there. Nice, whatever. Mookie had 2 more games under his belt as well. I should note, I think I saw it. Yes, I did. We got a $5 super chat from IB Strokin. Pause for effect. Says, be right back. Quick beer run. Thank you, IB Strokin, for the update. It's a smart move. It's about beer 30 last time I checked, or it's about beer 10 from what I'm seeing. It's a good point also here from Diane. She says, smash that thumbs up button, guys. Leave a like if you enjoy the content. Leave a like if you enjoy the Los Angeles Dodgers. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy happiness. That works. But yeah, talked more about Mookie Betts also on Dodgers territory, but Mookie absolutely tearing the cover off the ball and maybe not so much of an issue as a shortstop. Of course, he's playing a little bit of second base. It seems to be like there's an official, unofficial platoon situation going. Going to talk more about that on Thursday's off-day show, where there is a surprise on Thursday's off-day show, so make sure you guys tube in then. And then Max Muncy on the bench to start on Sunday's game against, I think it was a lefty in the lineup, but he's on the bench to start, comes in relief off the lefty, or comes in as a pinch hitter off the lefty reliever, drops the bomb, 2-run homer, throws the bat. We're feeling good. Vibes are up. Ask Will Smith about it. Again, by the way, Will Smith was on Dodgers territory earlier. Check it out. After this, or after the post-game show, or as a post-game show, whatever it is. Vibes have got to be high in that clubhouse. I think they were already pretty high as it was, but you take 3 of 4 against the Cardinals, and yeah, the Cardinals, maybe they aren't the best team right now. You still have a couple of MVP candidates with Nolan Arenado, with Paulie Goldschmidt. Wilson Contreras can hit. They have some pitching in there, but that's not your dad's Cardinals. That's not even, your step-uncle's Cardinals. What are you doing, step-uncle? You're watching the Cardinals team that is young and still trying to figure it out, and had a pretty down year last year. But as Dave Roberts might say, they are on the come. They are on the come at some point in time, maybe not now. I will still give the Dodgers more credit for having put together a good series against the Cards over the Cardinals being really, really bad. But all of that takes us into a new segment. Pretend there's a graphic. Whoopity, whoopity, whoopity. This is Monday Interactions. Monday Overreactions, because you got to overreact after a series, whether it be a loss, whether it be a win, whether it be a split. Those are basically all the options, whether somebody gets exploded. But you got to overreact to something about the team. I have a few things to overreact with, and then we have a surprise later in the show, or in a couple minutes after I complain for a little bit. But let's talk Shohei Ohtani. And yeah, he's struggling. He's not doing the best at the moment. It hasn't been the prettiest start for the $700 million man. Who would have had Miguel Rojas hitting a home run before Shohei Ohtani this season? The guy, Miguel Rojas, the guy who didn't hit his first home run until, what was it, late August last year, has more dingers. He has more bombs than Shohei Ohtani. Not worried about this even slightly. Let's read the room a little bit. If I'm going to overreact and then kind of pull it back a little bit, you wonder, one, is Shohei pressing? There's a chance. New team, first home series, wearing a different uniform. There's a lot going on for Mr. Shohei, or Jorge Ohtani, as Kike revealed, as he revealed every pitch that was being thrown by Gavin Stone in his one inning on ESPN on Sunday. Beyond that, there's a lot going on in Shohei Ohtani's life. Best friend robs him. He's all of a sudden in the news that he's the biggest newsmaker in baseball for the absolute wrong reasons. First time he's ever been looked at this poorly from national pundits. So he's going to get some questions. He's going to get some inquiries. He's going to get things that he needs to compartmentalize. And Dave Roberts says he's doing a very good job of, kind of sticking to his game plan, putting in the work, going to, showing up to the work, showing up to the job, showing up to the field, and putting his best foot forward. Right now, another thing I agree with what Dave Roberts said. Right now, the timing's off, and you could see it in the swings. Shohei is hitting an abnormal. I mean, I don't know if it's abnormal. Admittedly, I have not watched a shit ton of Shohei Ohtani in my life, because who watches Angels games? No one, not even Angels fans, watch that many Angels games. It's a painful experience. But the swing is just a hair off. He's hitting the shit out of the ball. There's zero doubt about that. Already, one of the highest exit velocities measured for a Dodger in the StatCast era, with that 115 and change off the bat over the weekend. But the problem is right now he's getting that bat hit out a lot. You're seeing a lot of pull side stuff, line drives, screaming line drives to right field, to the second baseman, into the ground towards second base. Shohei is better when he almost has the kind of Freddie Freeman approach. It's not as pronounced as Freddie. He's not as handsy as Freddie, trying to push the ball to left field or opposite field. But once you see Shohei starting to go a little bit more middle, starting to not get his bat head out as much, or starting to be more on time, then we will feel a lot better about the Shohei Ohtani experience. But week one, it's a wash. It's mixed. He's fine. No power there. But the Dodgers are winning. They're tied for first in the National League West. And it is very, very early, as I see a super chat coming in from our guy, Mr. Richard Flores. Says $4.99 super chat. Thank you very much, Richard, for the super chat. Says, if I was a career advisor for Alex Vesia, I would say two words: pizza delivery. Oof. Stevie Wonder couldn't believe how bad he was missing the zone. Ouch. There's an overreaction for you. And that was my next overreaction. That was not my next. It was my second to next, because I want to overreact in a positive light first. Let's talk Bobby Miller. Robert Miller, big Bob on the mound. I'm not going to say the word, but the word was dick. Bobby Miller. I'm going to say it here. I'm going to say it loud. I'm going to say it proud, and I might be wrong. Bobby Miller, in year two, will finish in third place for the National League Cy Young Award. He will finish third in National League Cy Young Award voting. That's how I feel about him. That's how I feel after that one start. That's how hyped I am after one start where he goes 6 innings, where he goes and punches 11 strikeouts, including that dominant Walker Buehler-esque finale, that final punch to end his day. We get the roar, we get the excitement, we get the crowd saying, Bobby, Bobby. That shit is cool. That shit is fun. That shit is what makes going to Dodger Stadium worthwhile. And we will. I'm going to be getting out there. I will get out to Dodger Stadium soon enough. I want to see, and hopefully I can line up a Bobby Miller game, because I want to see some Bob. I want to see some big game Bob on the mound. But that is my number 2 overreaction. Bobby is going to quiet all the haters, including maybe me. I don't know if I was a hater. I just like to be respectfully unoptimistic, we'll say. But Bobby's he's gonna sneak up on you. And my final one, piggybacking off of Mr. Richard Flores there, Alex Vesia and the lefties in the bullpen situation, i.e. the Alex Vesia situation, because there's really only one lefty in the bullpen right now. Ryan Yarbrough is not a left-handed option out of the bullpen. He's an opener. He's a bulk guy. He's kind of going to be a starter. He's not somebody who's ever going to really be a late-inning reliever, a loogie type, if you will. Alex Vesia being the lone lefty, and he's kind of being his usual self. Lots of walks, lots of wild pitches. Maybe he should be wearing 99 instead of Joe Kelly. I mean, they both could wear 99. They're both kind of the wild thing there at the back of that bullpen. But Alex Vesia, again, short sample size, small sample size, very early in the season. Only has, four appearances under his belt. But, again, a lot of walks, a lot of pitches. Need to find that zone a little bit more. When he finds a zone, it's a little too middle. Eventually, something that could be hittable. You want to see, you have more time. Obviously, you have a lot more time to let this play out. This is that sucky part of the season, though, where, there's going to be some times where people are struggling, and they've produced in the past, and we know how Dave Roberts we know how the Dodgers are. They're going to give them their time. They're going to maybe give them more leash than they deserve. Last year, they kind of, pulled the ripcord a little bit on Vesia. They did have the options, so they sent him to AAA. I don't think that is an option this year. Options are not an option this year. But this is absolutely a concern for me in the long run. You don't have very many other lefty options currently in-house. Matt Gage is on the 40-man roster, is a guy they traded for from the Yankees in the offseason. He's been good at times when he's had opportunity. This is where you would have liked to seen maybe Justin Wilson hang around. They traded away TJ McFarland just last week in the organization. Before you see anybody else, I would not be surprised at all. Well, it'd be Gage, but the next guy who's not on the 40-man, John Rooney. This is going to be Roondog's year, and if it's not, he's never going to have a year. But watch out for John Rooney at some point to be the guy that potentially is coming for Alex Vesia's job. You really want Vesia to figure it all out, but there's still just a lot of how many times have we said, is he going to figure it out? It's getting to very, very, it's past a concerning point there. Like I already said, Yarbrough's more of a long reliever. If you see John Rooney, there's going to be a lot of, as the Coors Ferry shows up here into the office. Thank you, Coors Ferry. Where am I at? Talking about Rooney. Another thing kind of very much working against this team is the situation on the 40-man roster. I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit, but this is a team that is going to be struggling with roster space all season long, and we're already seeing it. We're already seeing it very early with some of the news and the roster moves that have happened today. Before we get into the roster moves today, that's coming up in a few minutes. Let's take some comments, and then we're going to go to the All Dodgers voicemail line for the first time since I opened the Patreon about a little under a month ago. But let's see some comments first right now. Let me go down here. Don't clip that. Don't clip the part there. Let's see. I don't know, says Panic comes later. Cooper Neal says, Vesia makes me nervous all the time. See, that's a little bit of a problem to me. I would say that's definitely a little bit of a problem. Craig Osterberg being hyped on Danny Hudson as an alternate closer besides Phillips. We did see Dan Hudson get the close, get the save when EP was not available on Sunday night. Ho-hum, no traffic, no problem. And that's a good thing. That's what you want to see out of Dan Hudson. You did not know what you're going to get out of Danny. I didn't say anything. What you're going to get out of Danny entering the season after he's missed the better part of 2 years with knee issues. But so far, early in the season, he's kind of quickly re-cemented himself as one of Dave's go-to guys, and that's not a problem. And if we continue to see struggles, again, it's very early. We are overreacting. That's the point of this. You continue to see struggles from Joe Kelly. Dan Hudson's going to be that guy in that eighth inning role a whole lot more. Diane talking about Vesia. This is the MO for Vesia. It happens every year. Yeah, last year was definitely a struggle. Again, it was such a struggle that got him sent down. He did rebound. He did come back, have a nice stretch, got sent back down again, I think, if I remember right, and then was really good for a decent stretch before the wheels started coming off again right there. DJ Jesse going back on the Bobby Miller says, what a confidence builder on that 6-inning final out with a strikeout for big game Bob for Miller. That was, it's an emphatic punch and entry into his 2024 season, into his rookie season continued, or really a sophomore season. Love to see it. Back on Vesia, 275 Vet says Vesia basically had the same inning that Kelly except for the balk. So not only could he not be good, he could be even as bad as Joe Kelly. I made it through that one. It was a word sandwich, a word salad there. But yeah, not very clean, despite the win, despite taking the series 3-1. It wasn't an overly clean series. You have a couple interferences from the catchers, that weird situation where it was a balk, but then it was they were trying to blame Muncy for something kind of dumb. That whole thing was very, very stupid. I hated it. There was like, somebody needs to explain something sooner. Like, have an umpire turn on their frickin' mic and be like, hey, we're still figuring it out, LOL, or something. But anyways, Joel Rodriguez says Bobby Miller has that big eggplant energy. I don't understand. Please explain the eggplant, but I agree as well. Give that a coin. Mr. Seabad asking me, how the heck are you? Says Clint FRG, how the heck are you? I am okay. Because the Coors Fury is here with, look at that. Oh, it's going to be a classic. We got, it's a 2017 one, so we don't want that, but it is what it is. By the way, who here has got for April Fool's Day on any of the memes, the memes out there? I saw somebody trying to say that MLB was vacating the Astros 2017 championship. That might have been my guy, Dodger Danny. I'm not 100% sure. Danny does love to troll, but you got to be careful out there on these days. Get got. Matty Man 5 Dodge talking about Gavin Lux. I said Lux would never find himself, so I'm shutting the hell up about Vesia. I was going to talk Lux. I'm going to leave Lux alone again right now. We're going to leave Lux alone for now, at least for now. Carnivorous Interactivity says voicemail. Yes, it's a voicemail hotline. That's part of the, I don't know if we want to call them perks, because I feel weird. Like I just added options to the Patreon that I thought could be cool or could make it more interactive for people. And we'll actually, hell, let's get into that right now, guys. In edition number 1, in caller number 1, the first caller, I think, unless I missed some, because if I missed any, I feel really bad, but I think I paid attention to the voicemail hotline as best I could. This time I actually put out a call for voicemails, give us some overreactions, and number 1 comes from a viewer, Noah Ortega. Let's listen to Noah real quick.
Not gonna lie, a lot of people don't talk enough about how amazing Dave Roberts is at calling who should go up from the bench. Because a lot of people might forget that in the 2021 wild card, Chris Taylor came off the bench. Max Muncy came off the bench. And then, a lot of people might not remember this, but I believe in Mookie's first walk-off hit, he came off the bench. So, give him credit for that. But dang, though, Max Muncy is a roller coaster. He makes an error, then he gets a hit. Then he makes an error, then he gets a hit. It's like every time you're like, you get angry at Max, he just says, sorry! So, and other than that, though, even when by really, really bad, I mean a 2250 average, he still is great. He hit the hardest ball at the exit velocity, the fastest ball since 2015. This team is going to be amazing. By the way, still, the only time this entire weekend I want to say fire Dave Roberts is when he kept Joe Kelly in for a long time. So far, I've only said it once. So that's the record for opening week. Have a good one, everybody.
There's your first voicemail in all Dodgers history coming from Noah Ortega. We got everything. There's a whole bunch of overreaction from Noah in there, and we open with I want to say more fire Dave Roberts, but I will only really have one thing, and that's the Joe Kelly situation, which I fully agree with. I fully agree with the roller coaster that is the Max Muncy experience, because it's so easy for folks, maybe myself included, to say, like, you still got to put together a complete game because this team already has a DH. So you can't really have him just kind of stand at third and maybe not always make the prettiest plays. But we'll get there. We're going to get there. We are going to get there with Max. I'm not selling my defensive stock on Max. I'm trying to maintain positivity there. But again, I'll give him the clap again. Thank you, Noah, for being the voicemail caller number one. Now we got Daniel checking in. I forgot the username. My bad, Daniel. But Daniel is another one of our fine members on Patreon. Again, check it out if you guys want to leave a voicemail. I have a Discord server there as well, trying to get more conversation going on Discord. A couple of cheapy options on patreon.com/realfrg. But one of the things you get to do is get access to that voicemail line. So you can literally call me anytime. I mean, I'm not going to answer because it's set up for voicemails. But anyways, let's hear what Daniel had to say on the voicemail hotline with a completely different graphic.
Yo, what up, Clint? This is Daniel, Kookster310 on YouTube. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Calling in about the overreactions. And usually those are pretty negative, but I'm going to be positive today. Back end of our rotation looks so good. Stoner looks positive. Bobby Miller looks ridiculous. And honestly, my overreaction is the Dodgers are going to have a top 3 rotation in all of MLB. They're going to kill it this year. See you boys in the World Series. Let's go Dodgers.
We love positive overreactions. I don't even know. Is that still an overreaction? I don't think that's – I mean, at this point, after seeing them through one series, seeing this starting rotation through one series, the idea, the concept of a top 3 starting rotation in all of baseball by the time everything is said and done, I don't know. I don't think that's as far-fetched as we might have assumed a week or two ago, as I burp slightly. Thank you. We know Walker Buehler is on the mend. He's coming back at some point. This is a club that will, knock on desk, get Clayton Kershaw back, but you have Tyler Glasnow, who's going to be that workhorse like we talked about last Thursday a little bit before everything really got off the rails. I almost kind of forgot about how off the rails things got there last Thursday. We don't have to talk about it. But anyways, Yamamoto looks so effing good in start number 2. Bobby Miller, if Bobby Miller can do that, what he did there, 24, well, maybe that would be a bit much. If he can do that, half of that, really, not even half of that. I don't know. If he can do that a lot this year, Bobby Miller is going to be in a really, really prime spot. And again, my overreaction, he is going to finish in the top 3 of the NL Cy Young Award voting. James Paxton. We get to see James Paxton tonight as well. And that's another one of those guys that we felt really good about when they signed him at the time. But then as the offseason kind of trudged along and we got closer to spring training starting, we all got a little nervous. Maybe I led the charge. We all kind of led the charge at the same time, but I had the microphone, I had the voice, so we'll say I led the charge and saying like, oh crap, maybe this is a team that needed Blake Snell. Maybe they needed Jordan Montgomery, who of course goes to the Arizona Diamondbacks. Maybe they need a little bit more help. But right now, you feel pretty damn good, and there's more help eventually on the way with Emmett Sheehan, who was placed on the 60-day IL last week. I don't think it changes too much, and according to Dave Roberts, one of the things he just said earlier today on Emmett Sheehan, as we kind of slip into the next segment here, one of the things he said about Emmett Sheehan was they could also, same thing that they were doing with Walker, kind of wanted to bake in a little bit more time off or let him be more ready or more available later in the season for spring training. I mean, for the playoffs where it's more important. So if they can maintain, if they can just, again, trudge along through the month of April, I think this team will be in a pretty damn good spot. But thank you to Noah. Thank you to Daniel for being the first callers on the All Dodgers voicemail line. If you guys want to check it out, check out Patreon. I tried to keep it something. Again, I'm trying to make it where obviously you're supporting me, you're supporting the channel, you're supporting independent Dodgers coverage. And I don't want it just to be, hey, give me money and I'll put it into the show. It's, here, you get something else out of it. That's what I'm trying to do. Hopefully people understand there. Let's get into some more of the comments here before we mix in, or before we move on. And then this will be a shorter show, by the way, because we are going live at 6:55 Pacific on the PSF app. I already saw my guy Carlos Desert Doyer in the chat saying, let's go. That's his thing. If you guys don't know Desert Doyer on Instagram, he's a great follow. TikTok as well. He doesn't Twitter. He doesn't X as much, but still worth a follow on there. Go check out Desert Doyer. And our new show, we're going to call on there Doyers Please, at least for now. But we'll be watching the game. Him and I will be watching the game together on the Pro Sports Fan app. The link is in the description. Go check it out. Look for the Dodgers Fans Room under the MLB tab. It's a pretty intuitive user interface on that app. So check it out. But hold on, let's continue going through the show. Mr. Classics are asking, so question, how many runs do the Dodgers give up? When? Today, like all time for the entire season. Today, I would say Dodgers give up 3. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with 3. BC says, looking into the way down the future machine, Paxton left off the playoff rotation. Yeah, I could very much see that one. IB Strokin says, I really like Vesia in that spot with a Dave Roberts quote, and that one sends shivers down your spine because, you know, Cooper Neal is appreciating seeing his great artwork in the thumbnails there, or in the voicemails, the little audiogram graphics that I whipped up. So if you guys like, you know, the My Little Character and My Little Pony, or this little it's all Dodgers thing, those are all my guy, Cooper Neal. Everybody's my guy, but Cooper Neal is especially one of them because I can tell him, hey, I want this, and then he comes up with something really, really cool. Everett asking, why is Ohtani struggling? New team. We talked about it a little bit earlier. New team. A lot of things going on. Timing off. There's your synopsis. But let us move on into the kind of final segment, final talking points of the show. A lot of little things. A lot of things to get through here. Setting up this series against the Giants. It is a 3-game series before you get an off day, and then the Dodgers fly to Chicago for some early games. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking forward to some early games. I think it's nice still coming out of spring training. You're so used to that 12 p.m. start, that 1 p.m. start. And we're going to get an 11 o'clock start against the Cubs in Chicago. I also saw somebody tweet about it as well on the Twitter machine, or post, because it's not a tweet anymore. What a waste of good branding. But you're going to see baseball players dressed up. Like, we're not used to seeing Dodgers players all bundled up in April. But that's what you're going to see. It's going to look real funny. I think I saw somebody saying like they're going to look like turtles. But anyways, I digress there. Let's talk about this series here presented by Coors Light, apparently. Drink responsibly. So you got James Paxton making his first start as a Los Angeles Dodger in the regular season. Kind of really feels like only his 3rd start since he was signed, because he only had 2 starts on an actual A game during spring training. Had a lot of backfields activity, so he did get out there. So you don't know too much of what to expect from Pax, from Big Maple. You do know you should get some fairly high velo fastballs up in the zone. He's an older left-hander, but he's still got some pop behind that fastball. Don't be surprised to see some 96, 97, 98 in there. Probably cruising around 97. He's got the curveball, and he's following a pretty damn good lead. Or I don't know if you want to say following a good lead, or maybe he has a lot to live up to with the guys in front of him, what they did. Even Gavin Stone, maybe he numbers-wise wasn't as pretty. 3 runs in 5 innings was much better than the numbers said, like I had mentioned earlier today on Dodgers territory. But Paxton gets his first start. He faces, I probably should have looked that one up. I didn't see who the Giants are throwing out. I know Blake Snell is not going out there. Wynn, I don't know who Wynn is. Keaton Wynn, 26-year-old, making his first start of the season. Oh, I remember this kid from last year. But the Dodgers did say, Dave Roberts did say, that the rotation is going to be pushed back a little bit, or they're going to already start baking in some extra days off in a way. So let's go to this clip here from Jack Harris, LA Times. The Dodgers are now scheduled to have a bullpen game tomorrow instead of Tyler Glasnow getting the start. Ryan Yarbrough likely pitching in bulk there, but you will see Glasnow pitching on Wednesday, and then Bobby Miller on Friday in that morning-ish, afternoon-ish game in Chicago. Not surprising. This is something that is not surprising at all. Something I said for a number of months, surprisingly, doing this show, starting up the show on my own and all that, said we're going to see some bullpen games early on in April. You're going to see them kind of biding their time in this first month before going to, really what they're trying to do is buy off some time for Walker Buehler to get back, to get healthy. We'll talk more about Buehler in a few seconds. I also, again, talked about Buehler on Dodgers territory earlier, but not surprising. I wouldn't be shocked to see maybe Avesia starts is the opener tomorrow. Then you get Yarbrough as the bulk guy, or it's going to be like a Michael Grove trying to get 2 innings down. Or maybe the new guy that the team did just call up, because there was a move today before first pitch, which is now about, 30 minutes away. Math is hard sometimes. Dinelson Lamet, former Padre, called up. Nabil Crismatt, he is DFA'd, which is tough luck for Nabil. This is a guy who threw 2 scoreless yesterday to keep the game where it was, earned the win in Sunday night's ESPN game, and his reward is pack your shit, you're out of here. It's a tough part of baseball, but again, what I had said before, 40-man roster space is going to be very, very tough. Very, very tough for a while for this team. Unless they start, swinging some more trades, which is very unlikely. You're going to see some DFAs. You're going to see some names that you were really hoping they could hold on to. Gus Varland's going to be on that list. Kind of surprising that they did not put Nick Frasso on the 60-day IL. He is not going to pitch this season. He's injured, had shoulder surgery. Not going to pitch this year. But if they put him on the 60-day, then he's accruing, he's accruing big league time and big league pay if he's on the 60-day Major League IL. So that was going to be one of those back pocket things for the Dodgers. They don't want to make that move, and especially don't want to make it yet. If he's going to miss the entire year, that would be a full season of 60-day IL, of 60-day pay, or of Major League pay and Major League service time, and would conceivably cost them a year of control for Nick Frasso, who is going to be very, very good. It's just not going to be this year. So there's your move for now. It is unfortunately DFAing that fool Nabil Crismatt. He is out. You really hope he finds a way to stick with the club, go back down to AAA, because I know this team would love to keep him around. I know he would very much love to stay with this team. Look at his if you look at his Instagram page, like his last 4 or 5 posts, over the course of a month or two, were all about the Dodgers. He was very excited. He talked about being excited to be with the Dodgers and playing, in so many words, playing for a real team. But tough luck for the dude. Again, 40-man space. That's going to be rough. Other news, Jason Heyward. This is more of a note. Jason Heyward out of the lineup on Monday. They say with back issues, back tightness. It tightened up on him yesterday. Not available. Might not be available for this entire Giants series. Let's move on. Let's move down. Let's talk about the signing from the weekend. Thought about dropping a video. Not very, very exciting, but it's noteworthy. Let's talk Drew Pomeranz. The Dodgers add veteran lefty reliever Drew Pomeranz. He's also been a starter at different points in his time, but this is a guy who absolutely adds to that lefty depth option pool. Kind of what we were talking about earlier. I did mention his name. I think I mentioned his name then when we were talking about Alex Vesia and the kind of fears or concerns with the lefty reliever situation that this Dodger team has right now. However, Pomeranz, it's been a while. It has been a while since he's been on a big league mound, healthy, successful. He's dealt with injuries. He has not pitched in a big league game since August 2021, made 9 appearances for the Angels in spring training this year. Not very good, allows 5 earned runs in 8 innings, but for him, ultimately that's pretty decent because you're saying that he pitched. He stayed on the mound. He was able to bounce back. And, I would say that would be, to quote the great philosopher, drunk me, that's more better than not being able to pitch because you're hurt. So you hope this team can do what they do and figure out how to get him back, round him into form. This is an all-star. This is a guy who was on the Red Sox roster when they beat the Dodgers in the 2018 World Series season. So low risk, very high reward situation. It's a minor league deal. Of course, you get to one of those points where you're trying to get him on the roster. Again, you have very, very, very little working space when it comes to that 40-man roster. But the Dodgers do what the Dodgers do. They find the diamonds in the rough. They try to find the diamonds in the rough. And hopefully, maybe, somehow, down the road, Drew Pomeranz works out, and he's going to be one of those guys that either pitches alongside Alex Vesia or usurps his job. We just need somebody who can get the damn job done regularly and, a little less heart attacky maybe on the bump. Finally, let's talk a bit about Walker Effin Buehler. The numbers, another one. Numbers not the sexiest, but they're there. 3 1/3. He gets through 3 1/3 innings, gives up 3 runs. But the most important thing, he made a healthy appearance. So far, we haven't heard anything negative. Of course, I was getting everything set up here just as I was about to go live. So I don't know if there was any update from Dave Roberts that was negative on the Walker Buehler situation. But everything we heard after yesterday's game, and even Walker on Twitter himself saying, for him, the most important part was feeling healthy, feeling good, and being that much closer. One very big step closer to rejoining the major league pitching rotation, the major league Dodgers, something he has not done since the middle of 2022. Long time away. Again, this is another one of those things, or a long time of waiting. But this is another one of those kind of greater things that Alana Rizzo and I spoke about on Dodgers territory earlier. Also, again, we talked to Dodgers catcher, all-star catcher, the recipient of the longest contract extension in Dodgers history for a player drafted by the team, Mr. Will Smith. Talked to him earlier. Got some good nuggets out of him. One of the things I appreciated from Will, I asked him, 10 years, long time. Do you see yourself, in so many words, do you see yourself catching that entire time? And he's like, that's my plan. I'm not going to change the plan. I've played other positions in college, but that's my plan. He wants to catch, and I appreciate that out of William Smith. So we're about, what are we at? We're about 20 minutes before first pitch here. Let's take some comments in here. I'm seeing a lot of folks talking crap about the catcher's interference that was called on Will, that was called on Austin as well. By the way, I did also ask Mr. Smith, Mr. Smitty, Mr. Dills about Austin Barnes, what he means to the team, just because I know how much people on here love Austin Barnes. But yeah, I don't like to see 2 catcher's interference calls in one series. But the second one was pretty egregious when you have Austin's glove coming all the way off, like coming fully off. You're lucky you don't break a damn bone in your hand there. But guys got to clean it up. If we're going to overreact a little bit, if we have 2 catcher's interference calls that played pretty big roles in, or I don't know about roles, I don't know if that's the right word, but it made a difference. It was a difference maker in each game. Luckily, in one of them, they were able to overcome that situation, thanks to Max Muncy. But it's not a good thing to see 2 of those in 6 total games so far. But see a few more comments in here. EB says, do you think Ohtani is struggling because he is sad he is not able to gamble anymore? And I don't have a bruh button, but I'll say bruh. Come on now. That's pretty funny, though. Nora Ortega in here in the chat, star of all Dodgers voicemail. Nora Ortega says 2 catcher interference in 2 days. Maybe the MLB is asking the Dodgers to mess up on purpose to give the other team a chance. And I think I said something like that as well on my Twitter over the weekend. Because why not? Carnivorous Interactivity says Diane Schroeder runs shit here. And I'm thinking that's how I'm reading it. And I agree. Diane Schroeder, you guys should hit that thumbs up button for Diane. One of our wonderful moderators here on the channel. One of just the wonderful people here on Dodgers YouTube. We love Diane. Diane's great. Hardest working woman in show business, I've decided. Let's see what else we got here. We got just general conversation there. Mr. Classic wants a Will Smith home run. I'm deciding, because I did make a tiny bit of a stink about Shohei Ohtani's struggles. I think I made it part of the title. I put him in the thumbnail on this video. I think Showtime goes yard today. I think, out of spite to me, Shohei goes yard today. And you guys can find out and watch along with me and Desert Doyer on the PSF app. Check it out. Link is in the bio, but I will be watching the game with you guys. There's a chat in there. There's conversation. Carlos and I are going to be talking about the game, reacting to things we do. It's going to be very loose. Crack open a beer, pull up a chair, lock the kids in a room, whatever you got to do. Come hang out with Carlos and I and watching the debut for both of us on the PSF app coming up right after this stream. Joel Rodriguez says big eggplant Betts hits 5 homers today. That would be impressive. That would be quite impressive. I'll take a 3-homer. If he has a 3-homer game, that would make him, I think, the all-time leader in 3 home run games with 6 or 7 to himself. I forgot what it is. He's already the all-time Dodgers leadoff homer dude, which is how they say it, I believe. Do those things, what did I miss here? Something broke. Okay, there it is. As we also see folks hanging out on Twitter. Appreciate our Twitter crowd, by the way, after I crapped on the X earlier. But, that's what we do. We just crap on things, and we have fun. Frankie Juarez asking for the link. There is a link in the description of this video. Check it out. I also have it on my Twitter, and I think I haven't posted it on my Instagram story yet, but do check it out. If you guys like it, we'll keep doing it. If not, we won't do it. If you want to do it a different way, we'll do it here. I don't know, but right now, that's what's coming up. So I should start getting ready for that. Got to go get my Lucy's in, probably take a tinkle, as the kids say, before that starts. But as we wrap up here, we will be live again here on All Dodgers Thursday. Of course, Dodgers Territory will be live at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Thursday as well with myself and Alana Rizzo. No idea what that show's going to be about yet, but I'm sure it'll be a good one. So check that out here or there on Foul Territory. Subscribe. Tell them I sent you. Here, subscribe, tell them I sent you, and be sure to tune in on Thursday when I introduce, here's the partial teaser spoiler again, I introduce my new producer / unofficial co-host for the live stream, and I'm very excited about that because doing these solo, as great as you guys are, they're tough. They're tough to do twice a week sometimes, and then as we get to those points where we're struggling and things get off the rails, people are sending us large amounts of super chats to show our pants or whatever the hell it was. I don't know. It was fun, but it was faux professional of me. I can't be doing that. Or I could. I don't care. It's my channel. But anyways. But yeah, tube in. I'm not going to reveal who it is until Thursday, until you see their face. But tube it in. Hopefully it will make the show flow more smoothly for me, for you guys, for everybody. Again, it's not going to be a full-time, like a full co-host, but it's going to be somebody. It's my Danette. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be my Danette right there. Or something like that. Again, check me out on PSF app. We're about to go live there in a couple of minutes. If you missed it, I already said it. I will say it again. Tube into Dodgers territory. We talked to Will Smith today. Thank you guys for watching this. Thank you for listening. If you did, I appreciate the kind comment there from 275 Vet. That is one way I am an absolute professional. I don't deal with fuck-up streams, that is for sure. But thank you guys for the great comments, the questions. Thank you so much for the super chats, for the folks that did throw a few. As I say, we don't have fuck-ups. That's not a stream. That's an equipment issue, and I could fix that. I just need a new XLR cable, I think. But again, thank you guys for the super chats. Tube into to Dodgers territory. If you guys are looking for a different way to support the channel, support me, support independent media, I'm going to tell you again. Patreon.com/Real FRG, a couple options there, including that one that'll get you the magic secret phone number to call me and talk about things on the voicemail hotline, which I think could be fun. It doesn't need to be about overreactions. It's whatever you want to call about. I like the idea of having people drunkenly call in over the weekend and be like, hey, this is Dodgers pissed me off, or Dave pissed me off about this, whatever. I'll find a way to make content with it. Trust me, you guys can help make even more content, and it'll be funny because it'll be you guys doing it. And nobody else I know is on this medium doing that. Nobody else has a voicemail hotline. So this is just us. Oh, I mean, the people on the Patreon. Anyways, if you guys can't watch live, check out All Dodgers with Clint Pasillas on iTunes, on Spotify. While I have time and be watching the game here with Carlos on the PSF app, I will also do the thing I was going to say. I'm going to try to get it on more of the platforms. I think somebody was asking for Pandora or Apple Music. So I'm going to try to get the podcast up on more of the platforms. But if you see it on a podcast platform, consider rating and reviewing the show if you can. I'm Real FRG. You guys see it right there on all of the things. Links are in the description for that as well. Hope we earned a thumbs up on the way out. Hopefully earned a subscription on the way out. It's completely free and really does help out the channel. Go Dodgers, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye.